welcome to Beauty and a Pete's, the podcast where real conversations happen.
We're Natasha and Pete, and every week we dive into marriage, relationships, family life, and everything in between.
Grab a coffee, get comfortable, and let's get talking.
Can I ask you a couple of questions?
Yes.
If we stopped lives for a day, what would be the first thing you'd struggle with?
Like bodies or lives? Like
Lives. Yes.
I think everything.
Okay.
I wouldn't even know where to start.
If I went missing for 24 hours, where would be the first place to find me?
Starbucks.
Okay, well done. If we were in a zombie apocalypse, would I be the following? 1, group leader. 2, comic relief. Or 3, first one to scream?
Somewhere between 1 and 3.
Okay.
Not 2.
No, not 3. I wouldn't scream.
Yeah, but I'm saying you'd be nervous.
Yes.
But you'd gather yourself eventually. So that's how I'm like, you'd take the lead, but initially you'd be like freaked out.
What is one thing you'll never let me be in charge of? I have one in my head already.
The bank accounts.
Yes. You know, that is one thing I would never want to be in charge of. And I'd like personally.
Okay, honesty.
Yeah, honesty. I could tell you wanted to say, but you were just trying to be
I did. I was
genuine.
like, I immediately knew what I was going to say, but I was like, I don't want to be.
Because that would freak me out. Yeah. Would you choose me in a room full of girls?
Absolutely.
Why are you in a room full of girls?
Because you put me there.
That was just a gaslit question.
It's a good one, though.
Yeah, it was. I actually saw that and I was like, are you in the room full of girls? I was like, I wasn't even
I'm
thinking
irritated that I wasn't smart enough to
I actually
think
thought,
of the trick behind that.
I genuinely thought, I was like, Pete's going to catch me out.
But there could be various reasons why that I'm not filled with bad intentions. It could just be that I'm at a work function and there are women in the room.
Yeah, but I don't even think about this. I haven't even thought about it. I'm
not thinking of it from the perspective of why are you in a room full of female prostitutes. Then I'd be like, why am I there?
Okay, then now that's completely different.
Yeah, but I'd be like, why am I there? But a room full of women, I'd be like, okay, there can be other reasons.
No, 100%. Oh, happy belated Father's Day, everyone. Woo! Happy birthday to fathers, basically. Yes. We see you.
Happy birthday to fathers.
Yes. Fathers, you're just as important as mothers, and we see you, fathers. We appreciate you.
I wish my kids did more so.
You see, I need to spill my coffee. Oh, guys, I just want to tell you guys the website's up and running. Please, can you pop through to stories on the link, please? We would love to hear it all. And I will keep reminding you guys every week because we just want to hear all the spice and also for you to share it on our podcast just to also relieve you from that stress on your shoulders. Anyways.
And then we can discuss it too.
Yes. And what better way to discuss it with Tash and Pete?
Yes, and be like, hey, Tash and Pete were talking about it on their podcast.
Okay, guys, we've had a pretty difficult weekend.
Yeah.
No, actually not for me, more my husband. I felt for him.
It was a revelation of sorts, which I think most parents go through at some time. I don't know. Again, drop comments or let's see how you feel. But basically, it started off on Friday, right? All the kids were over and coming to collect me, and my son was like, I'd rather stay home with his biological mom.
Yes.
And then you can come collect me afterwards. So Tash came and got me from work, and I was like, okay, that's cool. I understand he doesn't want to drive all the way and he was bored. And I gave it a bit of a pass, understanding how it might not be the best situation for him.
Shame, and I've got to give it to Pete. He tries to always look at from the second person. Is that
yeah, from the perspective of how someone else in that position. And so then Saturday came and he was playing on the PlayStation, and I've always defended him to be like, let him have fun. Like, it's a cool time for him to relax and to enjoy himself. And it's because it was a privilege that I was denied by my parents when I was a kid growing up. So I was like, let me change that here and allow him to enjoy himself. And then Tash said to the kids, all right, guys, we're going to go and get Dad's Father's Day gift. I was on the second story and I could see what was going on. And then I heard him say, can't I just stay here and play PlayStation? And at that point, something clicked in my head. I was like, that's pretty rude. Taking 15, 20 minutes of your life to go for a drive, to use money that's not even your own, to go get a gift for your dad on Father's Day. Yeah, like sacrificing literally 20 minutes of your time. That's all it would have taken. And he was like, nah, I'd rather stay here and play PlayStation. That was disappointing to me. Anyway, I said to him, you sit, you play, you do whatever you want. But I was being a little bit tongue-in-cheek and a bit sarcastic about it.
He should have pushed himself to go to the mall.
Yeah, he should have pushed a bit more. He was like, because he was like, no, I'll go. And I was like, no. If I'm going to get that half-hearted attitude, just stay. And
No,
you
but
know,
I was actually pushing him to stay at home because I said I don't like driving with the kids in the car if they're moping and they love a good mope. I'm not gonna sit in the car with you, so you should. So I understand why he actually stayed.
So yeah, that grated me. And then Sunday came along and it was Father's Day. And these two little kiddies, my oldest daughter and my son, were at each other's throats the whole time. They were just bickering about the most silly things. And they do it all the time. Sibling rivalry. It happens. We've all been through it. And they go through the moments. But just combined with everything that had happened and the fact that Father's Day was like, I don't know. I remember, I'm just going to say from my perspective, I remember growing up, I remember making breakfast for my parents and being like, this is going to be cool. I'm actually excited to make eggs and absolutely crying. It's the thought behind it. And none of that happened. I made cards for my parents. I used to just take paper and fold it, and I used to draw something on the front, like as best as possible. But I would make an effort. None of that was made. They simply came, gave me the gifts, which essentially Tash had bought me. And I was like, there was no effort put into this. It was just the formality of saying Happy Father's Day and then going about their lives as usual. And look, I'm not expecting a fanfare parade, but I'm expecting some effort to show respect, which I think was a concern for me. It immediately raised my concerns to be like, something is off, something needs to be recalibrated here. So we've revisited this and the PlayStation's gone. My daughter's junior social media accounts
Have been taken away.
Removed.
So basically, in saying this, so when Pete's disciplining the kids now, officially, the red flag, everything is stopping now. I think within these days on the weekend, he sees the kids actually fully like what they're doing because he's at home at work working for us, so he doesn't see everything that's going on. But I will address everything that's happening to them if I'm not happy with things. I talk to them and obviously I'll talk to Peter about it. But it's nice that now he has fresh eyes for himself because also you can't tell someone the things that are happening if they're not there.
And you were giving me the heads up and I believed you. It's just that I was giving them grace over actually enforcing because...
It's like dad guilt because you're not there at home. So you're like, oh, no, it's okay.
Exactly. It is a bit of dad guilt involved.
But you're working for the family. So that guilt shouldn't be there. So I'm actually filling in for Pete's presence in the house and I'm actually doing for both of us there. Whilst he's working for the family, he's bringing in the income for us to live.
And I think it's a feeling that all dads get.
Yeah, 100%.
At night, when kids are in bed and all the turmoil has like settled for the day and suddenly they think to themselves, did I spend enough time with them? Did I love them enough?
Yeah.
Did I show them like...
I have that already. So now... I'm quite hard on myself, but I always think that, oh, maybe I should put my phone down for 5 minutes, but I'm like, I need to do some work on my phone. But I'm like, now imagine how you feel when you actually away for 10 hours of the day, which is quite hectic.
And then the relatively short period that I get to spend time with them. I don't know, we got them this evening. They're coming over.
Let me tell you, you know when your parents...
that was the worst.
You're like, my mom's going to give me shit.
Mom and dad are going to absolutely freak when they find out.
My butt. Yeah. So I was telling Pete, I just know that they are probably thinking to themselves, first, how is Tash going to react when she picks us up? How is it going to be when we get home? But the thing is, guys, they don't have anywhere to run off to after because we're going to fetch Pete from work.
Oh, they're coming?
Yeah, they have to come. No, so the reason why I want the kids to come in the car, number A...
Oof, this is going to be an interesting ride.
Kids need to understand sacrifices need to be made in life and that we are trying to make things work with what we have, or we've made sacrifices now. And that means taking away one car. We actually found without it, but it's made it different for us. 2, it's also for them to spend bonding time with us all together. And 3, because I love them. And they must also sometimes be put in their face because they've just been all over the place, to be honest.
So it'll be an interesting car ride home. In fact, I haven't even thought.
I've got to actually tell you. So I always give Peter a warning about things. Let's just say, guys, at the end of the day, the kids are going to actually see the serious side of Pete because they've always seen the playful side. I've even told Pete, I was like, I actually only see the funny, chilled, laid-back dad, and you'd rarely see the serious side of Pete, and it's only if he gets triggered by something.
And I think I think it's time to come into that season because they also know how to play the game, like mentally.
Yeah, kids are good, eh?
They know, oh, Dad's not going to do anything here. Dad's going to just let me slide. Now it's like, no. The sense of entitlement, the sense of it's all about me. Like, I don't have to worry about other people. Like, we need to change that. That needs to
also coming with But I could imagine though, if you're a child, you have two sets of families. Now, you can also maneuver with one and the other.
Hey.
You can get your way with both at the end of the day.
Yeah, to some extent. You can be
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, I'm stepping out of this area where I know these are the boundaries and I can push them here in this home because I have limited time here. So, the parents are a little bit more lenient, they're more forgiving. But now that there's enough time and enough, say, visibility of their actions and what
Yes.
they're doing, I've now had enough.
Yeah.
It's time to bring out that dad that you all traditionally think about who's like, oh no, dad's going to be the most upset about this. I'm going to be that dad now. So I'm changing
I was even
my dad season. I'm no longer going to be, sure, I'll be the loving, playful dad, but I'm going to be a little bit more tough on the kids.
Tough love is good, guys.
Yeah, tough love is needed.
Guys, I want to tell you about this cute thing I saw this morning. So every day before I drop Gigi off at school, I always bring Gigi to bed to where Pete is to give him a hug. And she was cuddling him so much, guys. The bond that they are having it's honestly so cute. Do you feel like this is repairing that time you didn't have enough with the kids?
It's very wholesome.
Yeah.
That way. It's super wholesome. Even Gigi's going to get it from me. I'm going to give her some real tough.
No, Gigi does get disciplined.
She does. She does get it. She actually gets
The most discipline from everyone.
Yes, she gets most discipline.
Yeah, because not only if it's just Pete and I, Kiki will also tell her, and Boy will also tell her, but not obviously hexically, but they'll say, no, don't do that. And she does understand pretty quickly what's yes and no. And when you raise your voice at her, she'll stop. She'll actually just twitch and she'll be like, okay, let me go the other way. And she'll carry on with her day. Yeah, guys, having two stepkids, and I don't even like saying stepkids because they are my kids, has been obviously such a beautiful ride. But the one thing that I could say becoming a stepmom was always weird was I never think about it like this, but communicate with your ex.
Yeah, that has to.
It has to happen. And there's nothing wrong with it. But if you just had to think about, it's like you talking to your partner's ex. That's just the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a
comes
bit
across
weird.
as a bit strange.
Yeah, it does. I think that's the only thing that I used to get awkward about in the beginning, but then eventually I was like, no, that's my kid's mom. I have to respect them as well, respect her, because at the end of the day, they have a good relationship with her and I don't want to harm any of that. So I'm happy. The kids are happy, then I'm happy, and they just get a bonus mom at the end of the day.
Yeah, and let's just clarify, it's not as though there's animosity between the families. Like,
No.
we're in good spaces, so it's healthy for the kids that they have two sets of parents who love and care for them, and so it matters most. But something I wanted to say.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a question I wanted to raise. And this is the discussion that we had. If you have a son, okay, and this is going back to the kid situation,
Yeah.
and this is to the listeners as well, just to question themselves. If your son gets hit in school, like physically punched by another boy, and they're 6, 7 years old, boys will inevitably start getting revved up. Their testosterone starts to jingle in their body, and they start getting a little bit of what it's like to be the alpha male. And then let's say, for example, one boy decides he's going to be the bully and he's going to punch your son. What do you tell your son to do?
Hit the caca out of him if he hits you. Yeah, that's basically what.
So I'm in the same mindset, but I know that other people don't share this view. My view is I went to all boys schools. I know that if you were hit and you walked away moping,
You
or
wake up.
if anyone that saw you do that, they'd be like, you free game. If you went to the teacher and snitched, was like, Christopher. Oh
my gosh, wow.
Then that's 10 times worse. Like, you would end up being ostracized from the group. They would be like, we don't want to hang out with you.
You might as well just buy yourself a break.
Exactly. That's my view. I don't know what you guys think, but I think if someone hits my boy, I want him to hit that boy back as hard so that that kid knows, okay, I tested the boundary, I went too far, and I'm not going to do it again. But I'll never, ever, obviously, initiate or tell my son to initiate a fight using his hands. Self-defense, free game.
I'm going to take you seriously if you just let someone slap you like that. Like, if you're a guy. If women is different, you slap them back. I feel like for guys to have a reason.
So I'll tell you why. It's because I had this discussion with my son, and I was like, what you going to do? And he's like, teacher said we're going to tell
the teacher.
And I was like,
No.
That's that's the right answer, I suppose, from a teacher's perspective.
Yes.
And from like a clinical, like, this is the right way to set the boundaries. And, you know, if you want, we can talk about it. But like, practically speaking in life and being streetwise is, nah, I gotta face this. I gotta punch back. Even if I lose.
By the time you go and call the teacher, they're all laughing at you. Because
Exactly.
you ran away. They'll be like, oh, look at this boy. I know, guys.
And they're not, none of them at that age are going to be like, oh, that wasn't very nice of the other guy to punch him. They're going to be looking at the person, the boy who was hit, and go,
You know what? I think honestly, within the schools of today, that's going to be the answer.
am I wrong in saying this? I don't know. I feel like I don't think schools can say.
They can't
even
encourage,
if they know,
they can't encourage, obviously.
they can't encourage violence.
I know, but I'm just saying not the schools, but I'm like the kids.
But that's why at school, you always had that one teacher. There was always that one, and I have to say, it was always the male teacher. I'm thinking from a boy's perspective. The male teacher who was street savvy, who on the side would be like, Ada, if he does it to you again, just do that. Quietly be like, thanks, coach, or thanks, like, you're the guy. And I don't know if I'm wrong, but there doesn't seem to be much male representation of teachers in junior schools for boys. I don't know.
But why?
And I mean that from like, I'm talking about class 1, or grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, grade 4. And then you start seeing male teachers maybe like towards, you know,
Maybe
the
they're just
teenage
too hard on the
teenagers.
kids. Maybe.
But maybe that's what's needed to grow tough men. Like, you need to have.
Listen, they're like all these boys from the past, even from before your age, babe. They were going to the army. They were tough.
Yes.
But now boys are taking Insta photos, making the smiles, making a career out of that, guys.
Yeah, I mean, look, each to their own.
Yes,
and the
100%.
dynamics of life are changing. But yeah, the toughness factor has disappeared. You weren't part of this generation, but
Yes.
I was part of the transition between, what's it called?
What?
Punishment when you got hit in school.
Oh, that's called abuse.
No, it's not. It wasn't back then. Pre 95, it was legal.
I don't know what that.
It was legal for teachers to be able to discipline kids and hit them. And I distinctly recall even a boy at my school showing his bum and showing the marks that were left by the deputy headmaster at the time. And let me tell you, that was the biggest deterrent to all of us. We were like, we are never going to misbehave, knowing what that mark looked like. Okay, obviously today it would be deemed child abuse, but I can tell you from experience, I was like, oh my word, I can't believe this has happened to
Imagine
this kid.
how they whipped them so hard.
Yeah, and okay, so obviously there's an element of control because
Yeah, but I feel
like they would obviously meet and be like, how many? They'd be like, okay, 3 to the bum, and then they would hit them 3 times. But you can't give someone that much power.
No, I don't
today.
think it was always like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
today it would be like being over. What? 20.
Oh, no. Kid comes home and it's like, no, you can't do that. But just saying that, there was an element of almost like, okay, fine, I hit the boundary. If it was done in the correct way, not endorsing physical violence or condoning it in any way. I'm just saying that there was something about it that made every other boy go, maybe I shouldn't tempt fate that I'm going to be caught and end up in the principal's office.
Let's just say by me
Getting wrapped over
saying
the
like,
knuckles.
please don't do that. Please don't do this. It won't help in the long run. Sometimes from back then, from what it's proven, it helps people to be disciplined. But we're not condoning physical, just abuse.
We're just talking about the difference in the times, and I'm telling you my experience about how I felt because I grew up in that era. Maybe you did too. Maybe you remember it. Maybe you were even subject to being wrapped over the knuckles by a ruler, or you got caned for something.
Oh, my
it's hectic
word.
even saying that.
Cane.
Caned.
That's
So they call it caning.
Damn, that's hectic.
Yeah.
Imagine that. Ooh, I can feel the sting.
I remember seeing the boys' marker. I remember the blue line and then the red line above it, just showing where the marker had been. It was like, wow, that could do some real damage. And imagine being the parents. You couldn't do anything. You just came home and you were like, yeah, he was naughty and we disciplined him.
No, man, that's hectic. That's too much, bro.
That is quite hectic.
Would you, so let's say if I had 2 bonus kids, or 2 kids, would you have looked at me any different?
No.
So we'd have just added it on to our family.
Yes, 100%.
And would you think you have dealt well with my ex?
I don't know. I would have to determine.
What was the situation as well?
I think generally guys
They get along.
don't get along well.
They never do.
No, I don't think it's good between the guys ever.
Is it?
Not ever,
But
but I don't think it's as easy for the
Yes.
guys. Because it's a bit like,
Dominance.
yeah, there's a bit of a bro rivalry that exists.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's your territory.
Yeah.
And these are your kids. And that can be handled if your EQ is tempered enough to be able to handle it. But I don't think it's as easy. Next episode, we are going to be talking about what we believe women in their 20s, and this is also going to be with a view to Tash obviously having heavy involvement from her age perspective and knowing sort of the culture and her friends, discussing what women in their 20s look for in a man and what they end up possibly transitioning to changing once they've been through their early experiences.
Stay tuned to that, guys. So you know, buckle up. Get ready.
Yeah, buckle up, guys.
It's going to be a speed ride. Thanks for listening to Beauty and the Pete.
Don't forget to follow the podcast, leave a review, and if you have any questions or stories for us, please visit our website and submit it anonymously on our Spill the Tea page.
We can't wait to hear from you. See you next week.